And there we go. Okay, I was waiting. I'm like, okay, is it going live or what are we doing here? All right, let's see. We got Dale from Ohio. Janet's in the house. Kathy's here. Beads and Beans. Pam in Wonderland. Delbert Jones. Welcome, everybody. Glad to see you all here. Bobby's in the house. Welcome, Bobby. I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. I had an interesting one. That's for sure. Oh, my goodness gracious. Here's DJ's here. Delbert's in the house. So, my goodness gracious, I'll tell you what, folks. This camper last night, I mean, it was just the wind was unbelievable last night. Crazy, just unbelievably crazy. I was like, no, this is not fun. All right. So, anyway, I hope everybody is, like I said, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Uh, so, before we jump into anything, let me just remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask everybody to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here because we are not going to tolerate that. We're just not going to tolerate it. So, just putting that out there ahead of time so people, you know, have no idea. So, if that camper was rocking, that storm was throwing. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, that the storm was just it was unbelievable. I had looked out and I saw the chicken run all askew. I'm like, oh, here we go. And there was nothing I could do in the middle of the night, so I'm like, well, I'll deal with that in the morning. So basically, when you saw that video, that was me coming out and going, okay, let's go check this out together. I had to keep the dogs in until I got them all back in there. But no, that the chicken run, um, it was it's an aluminum frame thing, and it's taken a beating. I mean, absolutely taken a beating. I mean, it's broken in at least three different spots. So it could have been a tornado party instead of a hurricane. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh my God, it was crazy. I mean, it's been windy here before, but that was probably right up there with probably one of the top two as far as wind goes up here. I mean, we get wind, but not like that. I mean, not normally like that. The good news is no trees came down in the driveway, so I don't have to clean up any trees in the driveway. Wasn't a lot of rain with that storm. There was some. We got a little bit of rain, but nothing like. So after I got them all back in, I'll tell you this too. So after I get them all back in, get the dogs out, do their thing and stuff like that. Another storm rolled through, and I have no idea what the wind gust got up to. I didn't even check. They just said we were in a severe wind watch until uh, 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it was probably right around that time when it finally started to die down. So, but did it again. The whole thing went askew again. So I like went in and I just tried to reinforce the crap out of stuff for now. I'm through doing a band-aid fix on things right now. I need to get so what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, you'll find out, won't you now? If you hang in there, Peter, you'll find out. Um I want to get some like hooks, like to drive down over the framing of it. So we'll see if that helps at all. But yeah, it's I eventually here we're going to be going with a expanded, chicken run, get that whole thing out of there, and just try to do something better for the birds. I want to get a different chicken coop built. The chicken coop itself has been fine. That thing stood up through everything. That the chicken coop itself has had no issues, which is pretty wild. So, but yeah, good times. Real, it's just crazy. But anyway, so uh, yeah, currently we're talking about the chickens. Exactly. So there you go. So we will jump around. Do we ever stay completely on topic? No. So yeah, the coop wasn't made in China. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, all the chickens are fine. I got them all back in a second time, and everybody's good. So, but yeah, it's just it's part. It things are going to happen. See, this is the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. They expect things to always be like perfect or what. I don't get that. Things happen. You got to roll with it. You know what I mean? I'm surprised you don't get a sharp rebar over the pole. Yeah, I gotta Steve, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta get something that turns, but it's gotta be long enough to drive down into the ground. So I mean I'm talking, like a U, but with that long at least to drive that in, so to lock that into place. That's what's got I gotta get something squared away with that. So, but I will be heading out tomorrow, and I'm going to be looking for some stuff to do that. So, but it's just it is what it is. Like I said, it is what it is. Rain has filled two 275 totes off one side of a 10 by 12 shed in the last 3 months. Where I am, 550 gallons of water. I will take it. Oh, I hear you. No, like when Mark went down to his building, uh, his uh, his his totes, he come up, he was so excited. He goes, they're both completely full. I said, I'm not surprised. As much rain as we had had, especially that one storm, I said, I am not surprised they're full. And that was why I was really wanting everybody here to get their rain catchment set up so that they have water. Because if you wait, like I said, once we hit June, July, August, they don't get a lot of water down here or a lot of rain in that 3 month period. So that's one of the things that happens down here with that. So after being down here for a few years now, you figure out the patterns. So you want to make sure your tanks are topped off, especially if you have animals, if you're trying to garden and those type of things. You've got to be able to have um, just get an idea to get the other coop. I just got an idea to get your other coop going. But what's going on with it? Why do keep people asking about the well? I've explained the well a million and one times. I mean, I love and as much as I love repeating myself over and over and over again, I will tell you one more time. The well is fully functional. If we need the well, we can use the well. It's a matter of plugging it into a generator to do the pump, and that's it. That's it. So, the well is not a great well. Thank you, Hella, by the way. The well is only, what is it, like 10 gallons an hour? I mean, it's a terrible well. I'll be honest with you. It's a terrible well. Um, I feel as though, in honesty, all honesty, I feel like we pissed away our money on that well. That's how I feel. So that's why we actually decided to go ahead and go with, and that well's 340 feet deep. So, I do getting the rain going or rain catchment going was definitely a priority. We do have creeks, but again, once you get into those dry months, they're not running. So you got to be able to collect that water and get that water collected ahead of time, or I mean, you have to prioritize. So, but anyway, so that's yeah, old fashioned hand pumps not going to work on that well, Peter. It's too deep. So anyway, so that's what's going on with that. If we need to use it, it is there, but so it's just right now it's easier to get water other ways, to be honest with you. And we have the spring down by Rob's that is no matter how dry it got last summer, and it got dry last summer, that spring had water in it. So we have the spring there. I got another spring back behind the camper on this side. So, there we do have other options, so um, good to have the well, yes. Um, but like I said, I honestly feel like we wasted our money on that. So, and that was 10 grand, just so you guys know. It wasn't a cheap situation there, but hey, like I said, what are you going to do? So, anyway, what do we got? 206 in the chat. We got 67 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you please to do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. It really makes a huge difference with the algorithms, and I thank you for that reason as well. And also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you again. But anyway, you'll get that back in some way. Hey, like I said, it's everything doesn't always go perfectly. Everything doesn't always go the way that you hope it will. Okay. We had made a commitment and we honored it. And, it cost a lot of money to put that well in. And the idea of the well was a great idea. But, like I said, it just didn't work out that way, unfortunately. So, I mean, it's all, you know, what is that old saying? The best laid plans of mice and men. I mean, you can have the best game plan. I got dog hair all over. You can have the best game plan in the world, but that doesn't mean it's going to come into fruition. So, things happen. I like to call them speed bumps. You're going to have things. Yep, adapt, adjust, and overcome. Exactly, JJ. So, how do I purify the rainwater? That's a good question, DJ, and thank you for asking. I have a Berkey water filter. So for any water that I'm going to drink or cook with, I put it through the Berkey. Otherwise, like for the dogs or the chickens, they get straight rainwater. And they're doing just fine. And I wash in straight rainwater. So I'm not having an issue, haven't had an issue with any of that. So that's kind of where that is. But yeah, so anyway, let's actually get into the topic. This is what real leadership looks like, right? Let's talk about that for a second. Uh, you hired out your well drilling? Yeah, I was good, Pam. I was going to use my own well drilling setup. I'm being a little bit of an a-hole. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to have a driller come in. Yes. I was thinking about just digging a big hole, you know, Pam. I was gonna do that. I was just gonna start digging and see how long it took us to hit water. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, no, but we had to have a guy that we hired to come in, and if you go back and you'll see the videos, of them when they were here with their setup, and they were digging. So, but yeah, I'm a little bit sometimes of an a-hole, but I'm really good at it. I'm really, really good at it. So, um, but yeah, like with anything, I will tell you, when I moved to the property in New York, all right, when I moved to the property in New York, I don't want to say delusions of grandeur, but I had big ideas. Okay, things didn't work out always the way I wanted to. I ended up as soon just before we moved, the day before we moved, I found out I had cancer. And then I had to deal with that and have a surgery and have a recovery. And you know, it definitely threw a curveball at us. Wasn't what I wanted to have happen at that particular time, but it's what happened, and we had to deal with it. And I remember at the time, I will tell you this. I'm going to talk about this for a minute. I remember at the time, people going, "Oh, you should go back on grid and blah blah blah." My mama didn't raise no quitter, folks. Okay, and I am is stubborn. My buddy Steve said to me, he goes, "You're like a mule." He goes, "Once you dig your heels in," he goes, "that's it," and that is it. I mean, once I've dug my heels in, that is it. But things didn't always go the way I had hoped or wanted in New York. But you know what? That property is still there. It's still in the family. It's still functioning just like I set it up to function, and they're doing fine. And Heather's living there, and you didn't say stubborn, yeah, a little bit maybe, Pam, just maybe a little bit. But anyway, you roll with the punches. goes in a curve in there, you got to deal with it, and that's what we did, and we overcame it, and we got things done. I had a real good friend of mine. Deep is the well in New York? The well in New York is like 120, I think, something in that range, JJ. And that's a great well. That well is awesome. But anyway, like I had a buddy of mine that when I moved off grid in New York, he had said to me years later, after we'd been there probably 5 years, and we'd built it up and did what we did up there, and he came to me later and he said, "I got to tell you something, man." He goes, "When you said, yeah, I'm moving off grid," he goes, "I was like, there's no way he's going to make it. There's no way he's going to make it." He goes, "You had no skills. You didn't, you're not a carpenter, you're not a plumber, all that type of stuff." He goes, "I just never thought you would make it." He goes, "But I got to tell you," he goes, "you are one of the most determined people that I've ever met." And he goes, "I got to tell you, I was really impressed." And, you know, okay, what new animals are on the list for this year to be purchased? There's other things that we got to get squared away first here, Peter. But we would like to get rabbits in here. That would be one thing, and like that. So, I'm not sure if they're gonna go in this year because we have a lot of other smaller projects that we really want to get going on. And so we'll see. I'm not 100% sure. I would like to get rabbits for a couple of reasons. You get rabbits now. You got meat rabbits. You got fur. You also have rabbit poop, which is great. You can put that directly on the gardens, and it's awesome for your gardens. So there's a lot of benefits to having rabbits, and so they're not hard to take care of. It's not like it's like, oh my God, let's run what are we going to do? How are we going to get things set up? Rabbits are pretty easy, and they breed like rabbits. So anyway, so that's a possibility this year. We'll have to see. But anyway, all right. So what are we at? 258 now in the chat. We are at 97 thumbs up. Again, real quick, I'm going to ask if you have not shot a thumbs up yet. Uh, I, if you have not, I ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. The more interaction, the better for the channel. So I do appreciate that. Again, if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So I do appreciate that. I like pigs too, Peter, but I don't want to do pigs until we have a functioning freezer underground. Because what I'd like to do is race pigs up all year and then butcher them in the fall, and then we would have a lot of meat from that. So, but yeah, I definitely want to do pigs down the road. I think that would be another cool thing to have. I think and they're awesome. And believe it or not, pigs are very smart. A lot of people don't think pigs are smart, but pigs are very smart. Okay, let's talk about leadership. What does real leadership look like? You have had presidents in the past that talk a good game and have nothing to back it up with. You've seen what's going. I would get sheep over goats. I would get sheep over goats, but that's something that we would definitely do as well. Ed, unless it's a SHTF situation, I don't see you eating rabbits. I've had rabbit before, Mar. I've had rabbits. Yeah, rabbits are a lean meat, not a lot of fat. So there's the issue. You could have all the rabbits in the world and still starve to death because you need fat in your diet. We as humans need fat in our diet. So, but anyway, so probably everybody knows by now we did a strike on Houthi rebels, right, in Yemen. And I don't think people have realized that like 70% of the uh, shipping has been diverted away from that area because of the Houthi rebels. So now they have to go around the Horn of Africa, right, to avoid the issues that are going on there with them attacking ships. And they're not just attacking American ships; they're attacking a bunch of ships. Well, what Trump did, what Biden, I don't think did. I'm not sure if I don't think Biden did this, but Trump did. He just didn't strike targets. Trump went after the leadership of the rebels, and they hit other targets as well, obviously, but they do these strikes, precision strikes. They know where the leadership is, and they go and they take them out. So and then just let's be clear, okay? Let's be 100% clear. When our government goes after the leadership, right? So you have, make up a name, whatever name that's one of the leaders of the Houthi rebels, right? You think that they wait till he's all by himself out in the outhouse in the John and do a missile strike then? No, no. The wife and the kids and everybody else is home, and they take them all. And it's collateral damage, folks. Okay, collateral damage, and that's what they call. That's what it's called. So don't ever think, that we don't do terrible, horrible, awful things as well. But we're really, really good at justifying it. Really good at justifying it. I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with them taking out the leadership that way. I mean, you want to run with the big dogs. If you don't, then stay on the porch. So, I mean, that's the old saying, right? If you can't run with the big dogs, stay on the porch. So, you reap what you sow. So they want to be tough guys and be in positions of leadership. It puts a target on their back, and so they get what they get. And like I said again, I don't have any issue whatsoever with our government doing what it has to do to make sure not only that the shipping lanes are safe, that our troops in the area are safe. That's what I care about. Tess said U.S. is just as guilty historically. I also know that some extremely difficult decisions need to be made in some instances. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, but like I said, they're going to find out. They're not dealing with the Biden administration. All right. They're not. They're dealing with the Trump administration. And he ain't playing. And like I said, I laid it out to you guys before. The movie Swordfish, right? Anybody ever see the movie Swordfish with John Travolta, Halle Berry in there, right? Great, great movie. I absolutely love that movie. I think it's a fantastic movie, and I wish they would implement it. I wish they would implement it. You make it so horrific to attack America that people just stop doing it. And you do that, and that's it. You know what I mean? So that's, to me, that's the way it should be done. There's no sugarcoating it. You don't want to try to whitewash it. I realize that a lot of the American public can't handle that type of stuff, but that's why they sit home and they protest over stupid nonsense, right? Instead of standing up and putting a uniform on and going and doing something about it. They won't do it. So there's people that are willing and do put that uniform on and go out there and risk their lives. And if we could ever fight these wars with the kit gloves off, and I'm going to tell you what, folks, you know, we do things that we shouldn't be doing. In American soldiers or ex-military soldiers, um, you know, or hired mercenaries to go and take care of things. You know, I have seen the movie The Road. I think that's a very, very realistic um, expectation of what things would be like. Really like that movie as well. I thought that was a fantastically made movie. And but yeah, that's they're things ain't going to be pretty. In a true SHTF situation. And I know a lot of people. Ed, Hootie's attacking the USS Truman as we speak. Well, then I guess we're going to have. Thank you for that information, JJ. I guess we're going to have to show them again, right? We're going to have to show them again. And so the book, The Road, is even better. The books are always better. The books are always better. Yes, carrier allegedly hit. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yeah, there's Dale from Ohio said there's a lot done that we don't hear about. Probably better off that way. Exactly. Freedom has a price, folks. And the thing is, it's like, you know, we want to let the idiots run around with the blue and green hair and act like fools, you know, while people are actually sacrificing and doing what's needed to keep us all safe. Um, and I, like I said, I don't have a problem with that. Here's Village Homestead. Welcome, welcome. I'm off grid due to all the storms. Oh, your power's out. That sucks. But hopefully, we'll never be in that situation. I would hope not, Peter. But I'll tell you what, I'd rather be ready for that situation if it happened. Um, and so, I have had so many people, guys, through the years, and I've been on here since what 2011. So I've been on YouTube for a long time, and I have had um, so many people through the years contacted me and said I got into prepping because I watched your channel, and this event happened in my area, and it was because of you that we were ready. We got through it with very minimal issues where a lot of other people had a lot of issues. And I'm going to tell you what, for me personally, that's the biggest thing that people could say to me. That makes me feel good that people were able to help themselves. How big is that, right? They were able to help themselves, and I just thought that I've always thought that that was awesome, and that I love getting that feedback from people because it's not about okay the end of the world as we know it, because am I ready for that? Not anywhere near where I want to be, but I'm working towards it. Okay, but I would love to get to a point where this is a completely independent situation where I would have all my own food that I'm either raising as livestock or growing, and not relying on the system at all if I could help it. That would be, to me, that would be my ideal situation. Will that ever happen? I I think in time, if as long as the world don't go to crap in the meantime, which I always have my doubts on that. But again, the more prepared you are for whatever situation may happen, weather is going to happen no matter what. Weather events are going to happen. They're not going to stop. Tornadoes, hurricanes, flooding, ice storms, blizzards, extreme drought, forest fires, mudslides. I mean, you name it, right? The Houthis fired 18 missiles at the Truman and one apparently hit. Oh, wow. That's not good. That's not good, JJ. Well, like I said, I'm sure there'll be a large response to that. And does that surprise me? It doesn't. But, and again, we don't see, there's the best part about it. We don't have to put boots on the ground. We don't ever have to put boots on the ground. We just do like we did in Iraq. Just hammer the crap out of them day after day after day if that's what we decide to do. So, but that type of stuff has to stop. That type of nonsense that they've been getting away with for how long, attacking ships and all that type of stuff. Why has that even been allowed to go on as long as it has? I mean, that's what I always thought. I always thought prepping was out of range until I started watching Ed in his garage. He motivated me and I did. Oh, that's cool. I appreciate that. Janet said he helped me discover all the mistakes I was making and correct those mistakes. And I'm going to tell you what, thank you for saying that, Janet. I do appreciate that. I've made a ton of mistakes, but I've always tried to show my mistakes because if it helps somebody else not to make the same mistakes that I have made, that's what it's all about. But going back, what I was going to say, like with getting going in New York, I learned a lot in the 8 years that I lived on the property in New York, living off grid, that I implemented down here. That when I started down here, I had a lot better foundation of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to get accomplished down here, and that's made all the difference in the world, and that's huge. So what do we got? We got 285 in the chat, guys. We got 141 thumbs up. So if we have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. Again, it really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction, the better for the channel. Again, I do appreciate it for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time for that as well. So, but also, we still have boots on the ground in Iraq, just not in the news. Oh, of course we do. You got to understand something. What is our interest in Iraq? I mean, let's be honest. What's our interest in Iraq? Because we love and care about the people of Iraq? No, no, that's not the reason. It's oil. It's always oil. You follow the money with any of these situations. Did we really um, give a crap over there when Iraq did what it did? Did we care? Did we care about that little country, or did we care about the oil that was in that little country? Right? I mean, so you know, it's all about that control and being the man basically, and yeah, and we put in military bases and then we stay forever, and that's what we do because we are. And I've said it, guys. I don't even know how many times I've said it. We are the modern day Rome. That's who we are. And if people look back at history, if they actually read history and paid attention, that's what we are. And the only thing that killed Rome was too many years of warfare, right? Number one. And they crumbled from within. They crumbled from within because people got to be where our country is right now, you know, with all the bleeding hearts, and we're going to protest and we're going to do this and that and the other stuff. Yeah, war's a game of resources. It is, but it's also about control. It's also about control. If you can control the oil, right, and you have that resource available, yeah, fat, dumb, and happy. Exactly, exactly. You know, I see so many things. It's just like right now, right? Okay, you want to talk about? Let's talk stupid. You want to talk about stupid right now? Let's talk about let's talk about Hollywood stars selling their Teslas because they're protesting Elon Musk. How dare he go after the corruption in Washington D.C.? How dare he stop the money laundering and all these programs that where money was being pished away? Oh my God, unbelievable! How horrible of him! These people are out of their minds, folks. They don't live in our reality. They're not going to the grocery store and buying food like we do. They probably have their assistant go to the grocery store and they don't care what the cost is because it doesn't make any difference for them. Doesn't make any difference for them, okay? So now all these celebrities are selling their Teslas because there was somebody, I can't remember, somebody was telling me that they took their Tesla symbol off the car. Well, there you go. There's a great protest. Screw those people. If you can afford to buy one of those cars, okay, number one, then good for you. Okay, good for you. You want to try to think you're making a difference? Good for you. Go see how that cobalt and all that other stuff is mined in Africa that's used for those batteries, and then try to replace that battery in your Tesla when it goes to crap. That's all I say. Look at that. What is that? What is the cost of the environment that way? So it's just like I said, it's all a game. It's a manipulation, and it's like and in Hollywood, it's like look at me, look at me. I was watching a guy that oh God, I can't think of his name. He's not like he's a skinny, scrawny guy. Um, and he was like in all these nerd movies and stuff like that because he was the perfect character for that. Good actor, but he was talking about the Hollywood thing is you have to go out and be seen with the it people because it keeps you relevant. And he was talking about all that type of stuff, and he goes, "I'm not really one to do all that." He goes, "But they said you got to go do it." Because it's important to keep your image up there so you stay relevant and you get roles and all that type of stuff. And you look at young Hollywood folks. How many young Hollywood actors and actresses are dead? Very, very young. River Phoenix is one that comes to mind. Fantastic actor. The kid was just phenomenal. Was he 23 years old? USS Truman was not hit by missile attack or the drones. Its anti-missile defense was successful. Oh, good, good. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, JJ, exactly. But because of Elon Musk, he's the one that sent the rocket ship up to rescue the stranded astronauts that were supposed to be there for 6 days that have been there for 9 months. But that's okay, right? That's okay. And with the ex astronaut there was one of the ones that was selling his Tesla in protest of Elon Musk. I mean, it's insanity. Oh yeah, and they're moving overseas. Good, let them go. Let those idiots go. They don't want to be here. Fantastic. Go and don't let them come back. There you go. You want to get your citizenship. I guess Rosie O'Donnell's trying to get her citizenship for Ireland or wherever. Where did she go to? Ireland, I believe she went to. Good. Let her go and not don't let her come back. Put her on that do not fly list. You know. And then you got these morons protesting the guy that was the agitator, right, of this whole thing with Colombia, and now they're going to deport him, and oh my God, we can't, how dare they deport this guy? Well, you know what? You come here to this country, it's a privilege to come here. You want to show your behind and act like a jerk, try to stir stuff up, and be for a group that is a terrorist organization, which is exactly what Hamas is, folks. Right? They're a terrorist organization. They use intimidation of their own people, not even just, trying to intimidate Israel. They intimidate their own people. They will kill their own people. So, do you see, okay, so here we are in the United States. I don't see jackboots walking around clubbing the crap out of people and beating people up because they're not doing what they're supposed to do. We let so much crap go on in this country. It's ridiculous. And we coddle these morons is what they are. I'm sorry, it's my opinion. I'm giving you my opinion. We coddle these morons, and do listen. You want to protest, and I've said this a million and one times, million and one times. You want to protest, knock yourself out. Happy, let you protest. Don't block traffic, because if you block me in traffic, I'm going to run you down. I will run you down. Don't get in my way and stopping me from getting where I need to go because you don't like whatever. Okay. There was I don't know if you guys saw those two idiots that went in and threw tomato soup on the Mona Lisa. Guys, remember that? And thank goodness they have it behind a protected case. And then they glued themselves or hands to either the wall or the floor, one of the two. I can't remember what they did. And so they got arrested. Imagine that, right? Well, now they're going to go to jail, and they're going to be getting, I can't remember exactly how many years that they got. And people are like, oh my God, I can't believe they're going to jail. I can. You do stupid stuff, there's consequences for your actions. That's exactly the way it should be. There has to be, you want to protest and you want to act a fool, there needs to be consequences for your actions, period, whoever you are, even if I agree with you. So listen, and I've said this before, I don't do protests, right? You will never see me on the front line of any protest going, rah, 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 I'm right, and you guys suck, and this is our side. I won't do it, even if I believe in it, because I'm not going to put myself in a situation, right? And I've talked about this before, where you can get in a situation, something happens, you get caught up in this situation in the moment. The next thing you know, you're sitting in a jail cell. And what good are you doing anybody sitting in a jail cell? So again, right. If you try to impede my freedom to move, I will not stop. Exactly. Exactly, Pam. And they get what they get, these protesters that they think that they can do whatever they want to do and get away with it. Well, like I said, there's consequences for your actions, and you got to be willing, right? You got to be willing to accept the consequences if you think that and I love it. They think they're making a difference. People have been protesting against oil for how long, folks? So they're saying that Alex, it didn't get hit. The Truman did not get hit by a missile. Now they're saying that they got they intercepted everything, and the defenses of the ship stopped everything. So we're hearing mixed things. So again, if it was hit, they probably wouldn't even put that out there because they wouldn't want the embarrassment of it. Realistically, because we can't come off as looking weak. There's the other thing. Right. I don't feel sorry for anyone who chooses stupidity over common sense. Exactly. Exactly. It's not egg count time yet, Peter. Quarter two. We got 5 more minutes before egg count. We do egg count at quarter two. But what are we at? 307. We got 166. Okay, here's the deal. 34 more thumbs up. If we get to 100 thumbs up, um, if we get to 100 thumbs up, I'll stop asking. So there's more than enough people in here now that have not shot a thumbs up yet. So if you would do so to show support for the channel, again, I do appreciate that. And it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And again, I thank you ahead of time. So now we're at 26 away. Once we hit 26 more thumbs up, rest of the night I won't ask. See, we got to set a goal. We got to set that goal. And if we hit the goal, then we're good. But you know, Surcom just released video of F-18s launching from the deck of the USS Truman, headed for Yemen. U.S. Truman is untouched and fully operational. Good, good. And they're going to get some payback. They're going to find out. Hella's right here. She's right. I let her out before the live stream, and actually in the beginning of the chat, she was up here and putting her paw up on my shoulder. So, but yeah, it's no, she's been a good dog. She's been with being out with the puppies and running around and doing all that. She comes at night. She's tired. I mean, she's tired at night. So she's a good dog. She's a real good dog. And puppies are awesome. They're getting so big. I can't believe how fast they're growing. Yes, we're talking about you. I know you're a good girl. But anyway, Peter. Really, Peter, I'm not sure if you voice that enough that you really like the puppy videos. Yeah, they're good dogs. They really are, and they're growing so fast, and um, they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. I really enjoy them. Oh yes, that was different, old mutt. You were supporting people that you used to work with, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Now, did you see? Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about New York, and they fired 2,000 correction officers because they wouldn't do what they were told, because they were protesting for safer conditions, right? And now Hochul is saying that they cannot be rehired, doing corrections in New York. Where's all that in the news? Is that national news? I'm not seeing it. You know what I mean? Um, they need to make sure that these people that do the most difficult, see, now you got her going. See, now you got her going. These people that do the most difficult jobs, it's great for those. Come on, stop down. For those of us that don't have to deal with the criminals, like the security officers in the prisons do, and do they get paid well? They do. But the crap that they got to put up with, I'm going to tell you what. The first time that somebody threw feces or urine on me, I'd be like, I'm out. See ya. Have a good day. Not happening. No. And they deal with that. The violence. They're dealing with animals is what they're dealing with. They're dealing with the worst of the worst. So I definitely, you know, and I respect that right to protest that. Now, again, I'm not in corrections. So, but I honestly believe that they should have safe working conditions, and that's what they were protesting. That's what they were protesting, and Hochul fires them all. So not a good situation there. But yeah, like I said, I had an opportunity to work in the prison system as a nurse. Okay, And I got hired and I had accepted the job. And then I went and I thought about it. And I'm like, do I want to deal with that population day after day after day? Because prison guards are doing time, even though they get to go home at night, they're still doing time. And I decided I didn't want to do it. So I ended up not doing it. So, am I going to let Hella have more puppies? Haven't decided yet. Probably not, because now I have, her daughter, Anubis, and if I'm going to breed Anubis, it wouldn't be until she's 2 years old. So, but yeah, I'm probably not going to breed Hella again. So there's all right. So let's do. Okay, so what do we got? 191. 9 more thumbs up, guys. I'm going to ask again real quick, and then we're going to do egg count. So we're not doing it yet. Okay. Um, so if you have not shot that thumbs up, let's get that thumbs up there. Let's get to 200, and then I'll shut up and won't ask again. I do appreciate the support for the channel. Again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that reason as well. So, how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Betty White. So I'll let you guys get your guesses in there, and we will go from there. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses, and we'll do that. So we need 4 more thumbs up. 4 more thumbs up. Now, now it went from 4 to 5. Well, that's weird. So somebody gave it and took it away. So I'll give you guys just another minute, and I will tell you who the winner is. All right, guys. If you had the same guess as a multiple time winner, DJ, with 3 eggs today, and yes for Miss Betty White, then you are 100% correct. So congratulations to DJ. That's got to be about your 15th win. Uh, you've won nothing, but you are happy about it. So, yeah. Now I was actually surprised with all the upset that they still laid as well as they did today. So that was good. That was real good. Yeah. So anyway, we need one more, guys. One more thumbs up, and then I shut up and I won't ask for any more. We're at 199. Yeah, well, we had the storm come through and messed up the run again, and so they got out and they were wandering around this morning. But it happens. What are you gonna do? DJ's Google Earthing your coop. That's funny. I never know. You never know. But no, actually, it's not JJ. He doesn't have the same guess every time. He mixes it up. Oh, see, now we're at 217. That happened quick. Wow. Okay. So see now, if you just want to keep doing it, that's great. I won't ask again. Ed, do you think Pam Bondi is doing a great job? I mean, I think she's early on in the administration, so we'll see. Um, like I said, you can't base everything on a very short period of time to say if somebody's doing a great job. Um, does she have the right attitude? Yes. Is she looking to find things? Yes. I think all of that comes into play. When you go into a rat's nest, okay, you got to kill some rats, and then other rats don't like it when you kill those rats. So they complain, and that's what we're dealing with right now. There is a rat's nest that they're dealing with, in this country and in the government, and getting rid of the people that need to be gotten rid of. They're just not going to roll over. They don't want that to happen. So they, like I said, they play their games, and all those type of stuff. We did see, obviously, and which was a good thing. Um, the uh, the budget, a temporary extension for 6 months passed, which was good. 10 Democrats came over and agreed to it as well. And Chucky Schumer was leading the way there. And the thing is, Chuck's at the end of his run. And that's why he could be the sacrificial lamb and put the rest of the Democrats could blame him, you know. And but there was 9 other Democrats that also did it as well. So it's just like I said, it's such a game. And people are just they believe everything. I don't believe everything. I try to look at a situation. Everything. Okay, let's put it like this. Let's look at this situation. Everything that the Democrats are accusing Trump of doing, right? Uh, censorship, dictatorship type of stuff is exactly what they did under their administration, but the media was culpable. The legacy news media was culpable with them. They were in cahoots together. The legacy news media is not with Trump, okay? I mean, let's be honest. They're not with Trump. So what you're seeing is, he's getting things done. And I like seeing what he's getting done. I think he's doing a great job so far. He's showing strong leadership. He's trying to take care of stuff. And again, here's the other part that I always find fascinating. Okay. So the guy's been in office for less than 2 months, but they're already complaining, well, this isn't better and that's not better. Well, you think it's going to happen overnight? Everything takes time. Um, if you are moving in the right direction, it doesn't magically poof get better. It takes time. So, Ed, there's actually a video interview of Pelosi saying if you tell a lie enough, people will believe it. No, I've seen that. I have seen that, JJ, and that's exactly it. It's all about misinformation. The Russian collusion. Remember that one? And then that got found out to be a complete farce. Oh, and Hunter Biden's laptop was real. What? No. It's just a big game. It's a big game. You know what I mean? And they try to kick that can down the road, blame everybody else, never take responsibility for their own actions. But what I do like about Trump is he's taking interviews every day, answering questions, and they're finding the corruption, they're finding the mismanagement of the funds being spent. They're not taking away Social Security, as the left continues to use fear tactics. And that's another thing. Fear tactics is always a thing that is being used again to they do it to scare people, right? Have they not? Let's see if there was an event recently where they use scare tactics. I can't think of any right off the top of my head, right? uh you know Fear tactics are always used, and then they get people, right? They get people to go after other people that don't go with it. Yeah, Trump doesn't use a utopian. Yeah, well, and then of course now oligarchy and all these billionaires are they want to control all the money and they want to take your money. They want to steal your money. No, they don't. So it's just again, it's a big game. And the rich like power and control. Do they? Absolutely, yes, they do. I mean, let's look at let's see. I think there's a guy named Bill Gates out there. Is that Dr. Bill Gates? No. So how is he like so influential in so many things? I wonder how that works, guys. When you buy up media stations so that they don't come out and say, "Hey, this guy is not who he's portraying himself to be," right? So it's just it's Bill Gates came out. There is an interview if you go back and see, and it says this is Bill out of his own mouth. Out of his own mouth. We can control the populations through vaccinations. I wonder what he means by that, folks. There's no wiggle room there. So you think I'm going to line up because Bill Gates says I should do something? Oh, I trust you, Bill Gates. You're a billionaire. You're the one. You're the guise of saving people. But you've made this statement in the past. I wonder what's going on there. Like I said, I don't trust any of them, folks. Okay, I really don't. Now, do I like Trump? Yes, I like Trump. Okay, I absolutely like Trump. I think he's trying. Now, if it turns out that I was deceived, I will be the first one to come on this channel and say I was deceived. Okay, but I honestly believe he's trying to make things better. That's what I believe. And his actions so far since he's been in office is exactly that. And again, everything he's being accused of, he's trying to weaponize the DOJ to go after his enemies. They did it to him. They did it to him, right? The CIA, the DOJ, they did exact same thing they're now accusing him of doing. They did it. And, didn't, I'm just curious on this one. Tell me if I'm wrong. Didn't Bill Clinton pay somebody off, some woman, right? More than one woman, I believe, paid them off, just like Trump did. But was he persecuted and dragged through the courts and charged with all this type of stuff, right? It's just again, the whole money thing. He paid all that money back, the loan. He misrepresented the value of Mar-Largo. How many times, folks, through the years, have people said, well, this property is worth this much when it wasn't, to get a bigger loan for what they wanted to do? I wonder how many times that's happened. If they've been prosecuted for it like Trump did or was? No. Okay. So it's not like he didn't pay the loan back. He paid the loan back. So it's just all of it is nuts. It's all nuts. It's all a game. They didn't want him being back in the White House, but guess what? That's exactly where he is. And so now they're scrambling, and how can they make him look bad and trying to pit him and Musk against each other? And oh, he's got such a big ego. He can't handle Musk getting all the attention. So they're definitely going to have a falling out. Haven't seen it yet, right? So far so good. Everything looks good so far, and they're finding the mismanagement of our money. That's our money. Okay, I don't give a crap if Iraq has Sesame Street or not. I don't give a crap. So I don't think that $20 million of U.S. taxpayer money should go to that. Okay, and all this other crap that they've already found. And how many people, the Social Security, right? How many people are actually on the rolls of Social Security getting checks? The information is being put out there. I don't know if it's true or if it's not true. I guess we're going to find out in time. So um, all those things happen, and you just have to kind of go with the flow, figure it out, and go from there. Yeah, how do you make 220K a year and own $222 million mansion? Like, well, she doesn't own that big. She's worth a lot of money. Pelosi's worth a lot of money. And again, guys, when you have insider trading and you're getting information and you know that XYZ company, you're on a committee, whether that company is getting whatever they're getting, so you buy stock in it, and the stock shoots up. There's these guys in California that track these, the Hollywood, or not Hollywood, the politicians' stock market moves, and they emulate that. And Pelosi's done better than anybody. I think. I think that's what they said. I think they said Pelosi's done better than anybody, and that's not an accident, right? When you have the information and you utilize that information, or you say to your family member, hey, listen, go buy stock in this company. I mean, that happens, folks. Happens all the time. you know like I said, the rich, right? They're a big club. They all know each other, uh you know and we're not in it. George Carlin, right? It's a big club and we ain't in it. So they're always going to watch out for each other. Once in a while, you'll have to have a sacrificial lamb that gets slaughtered to appease the peons, which is us, right? So that they think that they're actually getting justice. Those people don't get justice. They get away with murder. I mean, the stuff that they get away with is ridiculous. I mean, look, let's go back. There was a Kennedy, if you remember correctly, that had an automobile accident where the young woman died, right? Oh yeah, but did he end up being a senator? I believe he did. Yeah. That all got swept under the rug because when you're rich, you can make things disappear or have things go your way. That's what happens. That's reality. So, but anyway, guys, I hope you all are doing well. Keep taking care of your business. Remember STD. It's really, really important. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only person stopping you from achieving your goals is going to be you. Set realistic goals that you can reach and then set about to making them. And the only person stopping you is you. That's it. Okay. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you all in the next one. I will be live streaming on Wednesday. Tomorrow night is for hardcore members at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So I look forward to seeing everybody then. And I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse One, out for now.